Scarlet?
Did you find what
Gentlemen, and I use the term loosely, give me just 1 second to properly greet you. Once again, I face overwhelming odds to free a lovely woman from the chains of oppression. Or as I like to call it, Tuesday. Puntos dobles. Ha ha! Somebody up there likes me. Come, little shield piece. Let's reunite you with your friends. I see Athena and Poseidon. But who is the woman who lost her head?
Awaken, my soldiers! Slay these pawns of the Pythia!
They don't let any corpse go to waste here, do they?
The one who did this to me. The one you must stop at all costs. The winged steed will aid you. Seek his golden bridle.
Double points.
Is this what they mean by sell your life? I see Pegasus. Perhaps he will help us again. You are not worth a bullet. Why can I not stop thinking about Scarlet? She's... charms.
Stand before me. Pay tribute to Apollo. Accept his challenge. Win his favor. Restore his eternal flame. And you shall be rewarded.
Apollo must have been very popular with the ladies. Ah, I know no burden that can be. Ah, poor statue. Forced to wear a little skirt, then set up on a pedestal where everyone can see right up.
Bonus points.
And next time, bigger bonus. These statues. Soldiers on one side, politicians on the other. Some things never change. I think I found the first national bank of Delphi. And the second. And the third. Uh-oh. Somebody's not happy that I picked up this bribe.
You have the golden bridle. Pegasus awaits you at the Spartan monument.
I have busted broncos, as they say, but never one with wings.
Pegasus bids you all to take flight.
I am mounting up, Pegasus. Prepare for greatness. Órale, caballo. Fly me to victory. Cuidado, Pegasus. You're heading for the waterfall. Clever horse.
Intruders! Tell the Pythia I will not be stopped!
Is Pegasus injured? Where did he go? Water, water everywhere. Oh, and all of it does stink.
My adversary knows you now. You must find the eagles of Zeus and strengthen your weapons. Persephone, queen of the elements. She spent half the year in Hades, causing the earth to grow cold and barren. I wonder what calamities befall the world of men while you are here with me. An apple from the garden of the Hesperides. It was sent to grant immortality. And things are seldom what they appear to be.
Confession time. I have always had a fear of snakes. I have freed my compañeros from prison before. Never like this. Flag of Mexico. This makes us allies. No? Let's see. They are attacking that crystal.
The eagles uncover the sacred unfollow.
Perhaps I can make Pegasus some new shoes with this. She called this a god weapon. Let us see what great and terrible things it does.
Do not be fooled by its appearance. Take it to one of the shrines of the primordials. Win their favor. Claim their power. Behold fair Andromeda, offered as sacrifice by her parents to the sea monster Ketus. The so-called hero who rescued Andromeda murdered her fiancé and claimed her for himself. This is the shrine of Charon. Show him you are worthy.
Come, well. I'm not going anywhere soon. Now is not a good time to run low on ammo.
If the last 1,000 years, beware the self-proclaimed hero. Charon approves. Take up his weapon and test its power.
Ashes to ashes. That is the expression, right?
Charon will share even more power with those who defy him.
I have the power of the immortals! And now the way back is open.
A gift for you, my champion.
Gracias, señora.
Now is when you want to throw the spear at the cog, and it should work every single time. Again, this will take a cut to the underworld, so come down to where the Zeus perk is and you'll see Pegasus. Now if you interact with the blue team was, but after the cutscene you'll be in the underworld, and now you have to grab 3 parts for the Pegasus strike, which is a monkey bomb on steroids. That's the best way I can describe it. Now of course this is which is a monkey bomb on steroids. That's the best way I can describe it. Now of course
Insta-kill.
Bad news for you, Chupacarnes. And to think I used to like having my back scratched. My gauntlet holds power you can only imagine.
Upon Apollo approves of your efforts.
They are not very nice. I am hesitant to get upstaged by a horse, but perhaps we will form a great partnership. I am not entirely sure I got my money's worth on this patient. Let's see them stand up to this. They are so foolish. I will show great bravery by killing them from far away. I hope no one figures out how to do that to us.
This is the shrine of the sky. Show him you are worthy.
When I mark my territory, I really mark my territory.
First, this is a typical trail stuff. Main part of the map. Now at this point we can start the Easter egg. To start this quest you need to light the eternal flame, and to do so, you need to do some trials. To do a trial, you can come to Oracle and spawn, or go to the Cliff Ruins area in the Underworld and interact with the pot to start a trial. These trials can range from staying in a certain part of the map, killing enemies in a certain part of the map, recovering health, wonder weapon kills, melee kills, equipment kills, and so on, stuff like that. Do the trial and get a reward. Now, there's 4 different tiers of rewards. There's common, which is the worst, rare, legendary. When you get the white flash, grab the max ammo, and you have now turned the power on in the map. Now let's get the zombie shield. Here's all the locations that I'm showing you right now. There's only 2 parts that you need to find right now, as the third part we will get when unlocking pack lunch. So grab the spear and the strap, and now let's make our way to the Underworld. To do this, you need to find the golden bridle. These can spawn in 2 different locations, so look for it and grab it when you find it. When you do, a new boss of this map, the Giganese, will spawn. Now this dude is an absolute bullet sponge, but thankfully there are 2 relatively easy ways to kill him just about every time. One is by spamming shield shots at his head, which obviously we can't do yet, so we'll do the other, which is pulling out the specialist and spamming him. Now if you're using the scepter, this is the glitch I was talking about earlier in the video. If you spam the button to shoot it and melee at the same time, it'll do a super fast melee glitch and you can kill everything pretty fast like this. I don't know the exact controls on PC, but as I said, if you just spam your melee button and you use the shoot it, that should work. On controller, just spam both of your triggers. Just be careful using the scepter and the Easter egg, because we will need this trick for the boss fight, and unfortunately, this glitch does not work on the level 3 scepter. So try not to level up the scepter unless you have to pull it out to save yourself from taking it down or something like that. But when you kill the Giganese, pick up the shield you dropped and now come to the marketplace and craft the zombie shield on this table. At this point, we also when you get the white flash, grab the max ammo, and you have now turned the power on in the 2 parts that you need to find right now, as the third part we will get when unlocking pack lunch. So grab the spear and the strap, and now let's make our way to the Underworld. To do this lunch. So only 2 parts that you need to find right now, as the third part we will get when unlocking part of the map. Now at this point we can start the Easter egg. To start this quest you need to light the eternal flame, and to do so you need to do some trials. To do a trial you can come to Oracle and spawn, or go to the Cliff Ruins area in the Underworld and interact with the pot to start a trial. These trials can range from staying in a certain part of the map, killing enemies in a certain part of the map, recovering health, wonder weapon kills, melee kills, equipment kills, and so on, stuff like that. Do the trial and get a reward. Now, there's 4 different tiers of rewards. There's common, which is the worst, rare, legendary, and finally epic. Epic is obviously the best one. Right here, I'm showing you all the possible rewards you can get from the trials, and if I'm being honest, this took way more time than I'd like to admit it did. So drop a like for my pain. To get rewards above common, just don't collect the reward and keep doing a trial. After doing enough, you will get your reward upgrade. When you get a legendary or an epic, come to the reward stand in the spawn room and accept it. Now getting back to the step itself, to light the flame, you're going to need to collect 9 points per player in your game. The way this works is there's a secret number value assigned to each reward rarity. Epic is 6, Legendary is 4, Rare is 2, and Common is half a point. So for example, in solo you'll need to accept 1 Epic and 1 Legendary to get a total of 10 points, which is above 9, obviously. So after you do that, the flame behind the reward stand will turn blue. This means you have now lighted the Eternal Flame. Here's one more example for you. On 2 players, you're going to need 18 points or 3 epic rewards to be accepted to light the Eternal Flame. This process takes a while, so while you're doing this step, we should get the wonder weapons upgraded. To get and upgrade a wonder weapon, you first need to look for a dormant hand around the map. There are 20 spawn locations in total, but thankfully they're not too hard to find. Most of them will either be covered up by a base, or a pile of dirt or rocks or something like that. So it's kind of like unlocking Pack-a-Punch on Dead of the Night. Now you might be wondering why I'm showing you a quote with each location I show you, and that is because thankfully there's a way to find out where one is at all times, and that's thanks to the Oracle. If you go into the spawn room after you activate a certain artifact, she'll give you a hint on finding the primordial weapon.
Seek the primordial weapon by the workbench of Hephaestus.
So if you can't find one, just go to the spawn room and Oracle will help you out. A quick tip I can give you also is that you can turn on the obnoxious subtitles and you can just read where she says to find it, because with the zombies chasing you and the ambiance in the background, it's a little hard to hear exactly where she says it is, but thankfully, as I said, the subtitles help with that. One last thing I will say while I'm showing you the final locations is, you can only pick up 1 at a time. Unfortunately, you can't pick up more than 1 dormant hand at a time, and you cannot pick up a dormant hand while you're holding a wonder weapon. This is pretty much the map's only flaw, if I'm being honest. But when you find one, or if you found all 4 and you just jotted down the locations, you can knife the pile of rubble or the vase and grab the dormant hand. Now, there's 4 wonder weapons in this map, and we'll have to upgrade them all, but for this video, we're going to go from easiest to hardest. Starting off with Gaia. Now, I know I just said you need to upgrade all 4, but I lied. Technically, you don't have to upgrade Gaia to beat this quest, but if you want to, I'll show you anyways. Come to the Spartan Monument area and you'll see a shrine for the Hand of Gaia. When you have a dormant hand, interact with it and it'll start a mini lockdown with a barrier around the circle that you're standing on, and you have to survive in this circle. Throw Wraith Fires on the ground, or use a Specialist, or your shield with Victorious Tortoise, and when the circle around you disappears, you can pick up the Hand of Gaia. If you don't want to upgrade it, just put it right back down and go grab another dormant hand and skip to the next chapter. But if you want to upgrade it, you're going to have to find 3 plants around the map with red crystals on them. Here's all 3 locations that I'm showing you right now. You need to shoot the red crystals off the plant with your wonder weapon, and if done correctly, the plant will go into the ground, revealing a seedling. Grab this and escort it back to the shrine. A quick heads up for this, when you grab it, you will not be able to sprint, and switching weapons will fail this step. So just get down to 1 or 2 zombies and then do it. When you've brought back all 3 seedlings to the shrine, interact with the circle and prove yourself to the goddess of Gaia. Here you'll need to fend off the zombies with the upgraded Hand of Gaia. During these lockdowns for all 4 wonder weapons, you have infinite ammo for all of them, so don't worry about conserving ammo or nothing like that. Just kill all the zombies with your hand, spam single shots at them, spam charge shots at them, just kill them all, and when you do, that same circle will reappear, taking you back to the map, and with that, you'll have the upgraded Hand of Gaia. Before you do the next hand, make sure you put back the hand before you grab another dormant one. For Hemera, you'll need to come to the shrine in the Monument of Craterus area and interact with the shrine. Same thing as before, defend yourself against the zombies. When the circle around you disappears, pick up the Hand of Hemera. To upgrade it, there were 3 mirrors around the map that you have to get the sunbeams off of. When you find a mirror, you need to shoot it until it's reflecting back in the map. Now shoot the mirror with the Hand of Hemera, and if done correctly, the beam will bounce off of a crystal and go into a bowl somewhere close nearby. Now melee the bowl, and the beam will now be on your hand. At this point, you need to run as fast as possible back to the shrine and melee the shrine to transfer the beam to the shrine. You need to do this in around 15 seconds, or else the beam will disappear off of your hand and you'll have to redo it. Here's the locations for the other 2. Like I said before, adjust the mirror, shoot it with the wonder weapon, melee the bowl, and bring it back to the shrine. And when you have all 3 back at the shrine, you can prove yourself to Hemera. Same thing as Gaia, you have infinite ammo, so spam your wonder weapon. And here's a quick tip for this one in specific. If you stand where I'm showing you, zombies will only come out of these 2 spawn locations. So you can just spam your beam at these 2 spots, and eventually you'll be teleported back to the map and you'll have the upgraded Hand of Hemera. Before you start the next hand, make sure you put back the hand of a mare to grab another dormant one. The last two can only be done in the underworld. Starting off with Charon. The Charon Shrine is in the Typhon Pass area. Do the lockdown and grab the hand and come to the River of Sorrow in front of the Odinburg. You need to kill zombies in this river and it'll start to turn red. Eventually, after enough kills, you'll get an option to interact with it. Before you do this, get down to 1 to 2 zombies because the next step disables your health regeneration. When you interact with the river, around the underworld you will see that there are a lot of coins around the map. They aren't hard to see since you can see them through walls. There's 2 different types of coins. There's the false opals and then there's the real ones. You need to find and collect 3 real Charon's opals to finish this step. Additionally, if you collect a real one, it'll make this sound.
I needed that winch.
So if you somehow miss the text before you grab it, if it makes that little ching that I just played for you, then that was one of the real Charon's opals. But when you have all 3 of the real ones, make your way back to Charon's Shrine, place back down the coin, and interact with the circle that spawns to prove yourself to Charon. Same thing as before, infinite ammo here, kill everything that you see, and when you get teleported back to the map, you'll have the upgraded hand of Charon. Before you do the next hand, make sure you put back the hand of Charon to grab another dormant one. And finally, Oronos' Shrine is right in front of Pachamon. Do the lockdown and grab the hand, and at this point, there are 3 gigantic arrows right outside the playing area inside the underworld. To shoot a normal zombie in front of the arrow, and if done correctly, the zombie will bounce off the arrow and a rock will fly from it. You need to shoot the rock with the hand twice and float it back to the shrine. Here's all 3 arrows locations. They spawn in the same areas every single game, so there's no RNG for this hand, thankfully. This can be a little tricky at times, but if you shoot the rock and then turn around and shoot the zombies behind you, and then shoot the rock again, that should be enough to protect you from the zombies while you're floating back the rock. When you float it back all 3, go back to the shrine and prove yourself to the god of Oronos. On the other side of the lockdown, it'll be upgraded, and now you have all 4 hands upgraded. The first one we will need for this Easter egg will be Charon, so feel free to grab that now. Now we need to get the Eternal Flame. When the table is blue, knife the table with your shield out to get the flame on your shield. Now go to these locations that I'm showing you right now and melee the oil spots to finish this step. A quick tip to remember, when the flame is on your shield, it'll deplete your shield health. So make sure you have a full shield or buy one in the middle of the steps to make sure that you don't lose the flame. If you lose the
That they are gravitating to me. Who can blame them? That secret of it was broke. You monsters really test my patience. That was no fool. My aim was truly incredible. Bonus points. I wonder how many pesos this is worth.
Upon the fruits of your efforts. Seek the primordial weapon near the purple blossoms.
Rise, Fuego, rise! Double points. Who said there's no profit in giving?
So, this trial has been running for centuries, yes? How did it begin?
My enemy imprisoned my sisters. He threatened their lives. Unless I initiated the sentient trial, the fool truly believed himself worthy of completing it.
Flame for whatever reason, just get it back on your for this Easter egg will be Charon, so feel free to grab that now. Now we need to get the Eternal Flame. When the table is blue, knife the table with your shield out to get the flame on your shield. Now go to these locations that I'm showing you right now and melee the oil spots to finish this step. A quick tip to remember, when the flame is on your shield, it'll deplete your shield health. So make sure you have a full shield or buy one in the middle of the step to make sure that you don't lose the flame. If you lose the flame for whatever reason, just get it back on your shield by doing it the same way as I already said. When you have all three done, we
Well done. The sun god smiles upon your efforts.
No es bueno. That sunbeam looks like a spotlight. But what is it trying to illuminate? The world's greatest spy does not miss a thing. That strange sound, for example. Feel the power I wield in my hand. We will make sweet music together. Failure was never an option for me. That's a good thing. Pretty sure.
You have restored the symbol of Orinus. He lights you skyward.
Bueno, Oranos. You saw what I did with a wind gust. Care to let me try a tornado?
And wait before releasing motion. When the hand of Orinus strikes, the vortex is yours.
The hand is an extension of the mind. You can probably tell that I am quite angry.
Did you not understand? Hold the shot, then release. Use it wisely.
Wisdom and I have an uneasy relationship. But thanks anyway for the hand. Time to work on my spot. Feel my blades, all of you. I do not feel quite as nimble as I usually do. Best avoid being injured.
Charon grants you second sight. Pay the ferryman, but beware. You already have one foot in the grave.
Diego is victorious once more. Just as I planned. Ah, the perfect setting for a romantic picnic. Just kidding. Smells like caca down here.
Charon's full power is yours if you wait before unleashing. When his hand turns Use it wisely.
Every day's Dia de los Muertos with this chingon on my fist. Ah, still trying to kill me, eh? Some things never change. this does not originate from ancient Greece. So small. Shouldn't I get two? I will take this shotgun and put it to good use. The adventure continues. Such unimaginable power. Where on earth does it come from?
Bye-bye.
This is the shrine of Gaia, primordial goddess of the earth.
Not a lot of room, you might think.
Take a moment, taste its power.
Let me be the first to cast stone.
Gaia will share even more power.
Let me
An offering for the earth goddess.
Come, my fragile friend. Diego will find a nice place to put down roots. For you, not Diego. Today is starting to improve. You think that hurt? You're right. I have the power of the immortals!
King Acrisius locked his daughter and grandson in this chest, and then cast them upon the waves to die. If only it had worked. One evil act could have prevented so much more suffering.
Success is its own reward. Color me surprised. Pleasantly now. Come on, my needs are urgent.
You have shown Gaia's children.
Nice view. Now, why do I think that come along and ruin it?
This time, allow Gaia to build her foundation. You worthy. Her hand is yours. Use it wisely.
The whole earth is on my side, as usual.
Seek the primordial weapon near the purple blossoms.
Hint on finding the upgrade a wonder weapon, you first need to look for a dormant hand around the map. There are 20
This is not my preferred weapon, but Diego Necali can work with anything.
This is the shrine of Hemera, primordial goddess of light.
This is Diego's magic circle. No cucos allowed. See the bloody journey the chakram takes.
Take up her weapon. Test its power.
This turns them into walking fireworks. Time to celebrate Diego Day.
Even more. People's flesh. mind.
Holds power. You can only imagine. Points.
And now to make a killing. You may want to step back. It seems integral to every step of our journey. I wish the battle patterns of this conflict were more clearly drawn. I, for one, would like to know the Order's true goals.
Carpenter.
Fortune smiles on the brave. Are we not brave? Our luck does not seem to be improving. We try, we fail, we try again.
You honor the man by lighting the darkness. Bring him your tribute.
Fascinating. Also a little painful, but fascinating.
20 spawn locations in total, but collecting back in the map. Now shoot the mirror with the hand of Homera, and if done correctly, the beam will bounce off of a crystal and go into a bowl somewhere close nearby. Now melee the bowl, and the beam will now be on your hand. At this point, you need to run as fast as possible back to the shrine and melee the shrine to transfer the beam to the shrine. You can do this in around 15 seconds, or else the beam will disappear off of your hand and you'll have to redo it. Here's the locations for the other two. Like I said before, adjust the mirror, shoot it with your wonder weapon, melee the
Defeat can be humiliating. It is now. Good things come in time. What? No round of applause for my success? Good things come in time. Failure was never an option for...
You have rekindled Hamera's glory. She calls you into her light.
This had better not be the part where I am burned by a giant magnifying glass.
Listen, my champion. Wait before pressing your shot. The hand of Hamera will quiver with power. Hamera finds you worthy. Her hand is yours. Use it wisely.
Tell Himera, it is mutual. Accuracy and precision will preserve the beautiful architecture from any accidental damage. I believe this may be just the advantage I've been waiting for. This is much more my style. I will not interpret this as an insult, even though it so clearly is. Fortune frowns upon me once again. Good news. Several seconds of rest before it all comes crashing down once more. I don't dare to quarrel with a supernatural box. Consider me satisfied. Something to get excited about.
The bowl and bring it back to the shrine, and when you have all three for this Easter egg will be Charon, so feel free to grab that. Just get it back on your shield by doing it for the look the dead in the eye step. So at this point you're going to need the upgraded hand of Charon and make your way to the Spartan Monument area next to Zeus, and there will be a bunch of statues. You need to shoot a charged Charon shot at the ground and stand in it. Doing this will put you into some weird zombie blood type effect, and at this point if you look at these statues, one of their eyes will be blue. You need to shoot a single shot at the statue with blue eyes and he will break and fade away. Now you need to find another statue right here with blue eyes. All the statues are right here, so don't worry about like running away for different locations. They are right here, but they are both in front and behind you. So if you don't see one with blue eyes in the row of statues that you're looking at, look behind you and you should see one. When the charge shot goes away, just shoot down another one, and when you have shot 4 statues with blue eyes, you'll get some screen shaking, and the Easter egg step list on the HUD will go to aligning the citizens. For this step, again, it's really easy. There are 3 cracks in walls around the map that you have to shoot to destroy the wall, revealing a cog. You need to destroy the wall and throw a shield spear at the moving cog when it's right next to the steel cog. If you do it right, the spear should stop the moving cog from moving. This might take a couple of tries to get used to, but honestly, it's not that bad. I will say though, the one by the auger wall by is pretty hard since it's by far the farthest one away, and you'll have to wait about 15 to 20 seconds in between attempts. This is one will go to aligning the citizens. For this step, again, it's really easy. There are 3 cracks in walls around the map that you have to shoot to destroy the wall, revealing a cog. You need to destroy the wall and throw a shield spear at the moving cog when it's right next to the steel cog. If you do it right, the spear should stop the moving cog from moving. This might take a couple of tries to get used to, but honestly, it's not that bad. I will say though, the one by the auger wall by is pretty hard since it's by far the farthest one away, and you'll have to wait about 15 to 20 seconds in between attempts. This is one of the steps where I recommend getting a Spar toy and killing him with a body shot to get a couple seconds to just focus on the step. When you have all 3 cogs lined up though, come to the Stoa of Athenians area, and you'll see 3 statues that are now moving near the Golden Bridal location. If you look in the inside corner of this building, you'll see a giant cog here. If you throw a spear at it when the statues are all facing towards the white crystal in the center, that'll complete the step. If you're having trouble with this step, I'll go about this frame by frame. When the statue closest to you is pointing here, now is when you want to throw the spear at the cog, and it should work every single time. Again, this will take a couple of attempts to get. If you run out of spears on your shield for whatever reason, get the Eternal Flame on your shield until the shield breaks and buy a new one. I say do it like that because if you have Victorious Tortoise, the zombie will explode and die if he's near the shield when it breaks. But regardless, as I said, if you do it correctly, the statue should stop and you'll get some screen shaking.
So, the Oracle told me turned everyone in Delphi into a monstro on purpose? Why?
He would open the way to Olympus and usurp the gods themselves. You must not allow this. I cannot overstate the opportunity to your world.
Have rapid fire? As usual, my workload has doubled.
And the Easter egg step list will now be on Scepter and Sundial. Now this step is by far the hardest step on solo. Honestly, one of the hardest solo steps ever in Easter egg history. Most of it isn't too bad, but there's one section in particular that is so unbalanced for solo. And if you've done this Easter egg on solo, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. It is, of course, the Fen Bra challenge. Now there's a glitch I'm going to show you to be able to beat this step, and it works around 90% of the time, but I'll elaborate on that more when we get to that point of this step. But for now, grab the Hand of Gaia and make your way to the offering of the Aladids area, or where the Danu perk is, and you'll see this fungus-looking thing outside the map. Shoot it with your Hand of Gaia, and now 2 more will spawn in this area. If you aim your crosshairs where I'm showing you now and shoot, it should work, and it'll split into 2 different shots hitting both at the same time. Now if it only shoots 1 shot, shoot an immediate follow-up shot, and that'll work. If it doesn't work and you end up only shooting 1 of them, then you're gonna have to start the step over again. If you shoot both at the same time though, now you're gonna have to destroy 3 in 1 shot. Again, if you aim your crosshairs while I'm showing you now and shoot, it'll work almost every single time. Again, if it only shoots 1 shot, shoot an immediate follow-up shot and it'll work. If done correctly, Giganees will spawn on the roof of this building. Do not kill him yet. Take him to the intersection of the treasuries area, and next to the Golden Bridal location here, you'll see an item that is trapped inside the crystal. You need to get the Giganees to do his concussion blast attack thing to get him to break it off of the crystal. When the Giganees is here, make sure he's a decent amount away from the crystal, and shoot the Giganees' weak spot or his helmet with the beam attack, and that should make him do the blast attack. When you see him doing this animation, stand right in front of the item, and it should break every single time. If that doesn't work, just try it again. Make sure that you're standing right in front of the item whenever he does the blast attack. You don't have the scepter, then just use your normal weapon, and that should make him do the blast attack. When the item drops from the crystal though, grab it, and now you can kill the Giganees. When you kill him, he'll drop a spear-looking part when he dies, so be sure to pick that up. Now there's 2 more parts of the step, and you can do them in whatever order you want, but I like to do the electric step first. Come to the sundial by the Danu perk, and insert the rod. Now you need to kill electric catalyst when
If Apollo has such giant arrows, can he not defend Olympus against El Rey de los Cucos?
Gods slumber within Olympus. Long has it been since anyone prayed to them. My adversary could kill them in their sleep before they know they are in danger.
That was a particularly souls. La revolución would be over in weeks if we had such fire. Not a violent but you know test me. Time to spin the box and see what it has to offer. Ah, yes. I know what you do, Diego. This should stop them dead in their tracks. Today is starting to improve. So, the King of the Dead wants to topple the gods, eh? He's a revolutionary, like me.
He is a demigod. Olympian blood ran in his veins before he corrupted. He sees the golden throne as his earthly, and the systems as stars.
I am fortunate to have not only the protection of my fine allies, but also this fine shield. That's a good thing. Pretty sure. Done that. If I could have more ammo, which would be very much appreciated. Max ammo. I still say that should be mass ammo. not give you an edge.
They're standing on the sundial. They spawn pretty often during this step, so it's not too bad. When you kill one, you'll see a symbol slot open on the sundial. You need to get the blue symbol to be open on the electric line. Now this kinda sounds complicated, but thankfully there is an easy way to do this. Figure out which way the symbols are rotated, whether it's clockwise or counterclockwise. Now count in that direction how many slots there are from the open slot to the electric line. When you have that number, wait for the blue symbol to show itself in the open slot, and when it does, count with every time that the symbols rotate. Interact with the sundial when the slot is turning to the number that you counted earlier, and when you do, that should open up the blue slot on the electric line. Now I feel like that was kinda hard to follow, so I'm going to explain it by showing you how I did it in my game. So in my game, there were 4 slots from the open slot to the electric.
It was not my intent to get me surrounded. But here we are. I think that did it. Of course, it could not be that simple. It appears the odds may slightly in your favor. I am not a violent man by nature, but do not test me. Color me surprised. That's enough. It's unwise to corner me. I can only react more ferociously. hide from the sun, and we will bring it to her. Or in that case, insta muerte.
Climb. So when I saw the one to the point where the third one, you need to pay 100% attention to. So if you want to, feel free to place down a Pegasus strike for the third symbol. When all three are put in, the rod will go down to the sundial, and this part of the step is complete. Now go to the raw perk step. This is, when done legitimately, one of the most unfair steps you could ever do in Easter eggs, at least on solo. Remember that part you picked up from the crystal? You gotta place that in Rod's right hand. At this point, he'll raise his left hand, and now you need to give him the hand of Homera. When you do this, you'll need to survive for 1 minute in this area while skeletons are trying to block the beam to fail the step. On top of this, a Blightfather will spawn, and have to deal with all of that on solo for a whole minute.
It was not my intention to let you surround me, but here we are. Your numbers will not give you an edge. Scepter of Ra and running fear. Relieved to receive such a worthy weapon. This is a rifle of considerable power. Rejoice! I finally have a weapon worth shouting about! Come closer, demons! On second thought, don't bother. I'd rather pit you off from a distance. You are an untamed stallion, Box, possessed of your own strong will.
is just completely unfair, so let's cheese it. Of course, you could always do it legitimately, but this step is so hard on solo that even I recommend just doing the following. Give Ra the Chimera hand and let it fail. As soon as you give him the hand, do not kill anything, any type of zombies, but especially not the Spartoid. You need to keep all of them alive, even when they're trying to block the sunbeam. Let them do it and keep them alive. After the step fails, without killing anything still, walk all the zombies all the way up to the Chimera shrine, pick it back up, and still without killing anything, give Chimera back to Ra. As soon as you give him back to Ra, hurry up and get to the shield area in the marketplace, and if done correctly, all the Spartoid and all the enemies should still be chasing you. So now all you have to do is keep training the enemies away from Ra for 1 minute. I would suggest going to the amphitheater, as that's the farthest place in the overworld you can take the zombies, and plus it's a pretty open area, so there's a pretty low chance of downing. And after 1 minute, the hand will go back to the shrine, and if you go back to Ra, you'll see that he opened a hole in the wall where the sunbeam was shining. And there is the
What? Not even a thank you? Just what I hoped would happen. You got lucky there, Kuko. Diego is victorious once more. Everyone, watch this! It's going to be spectacular! Seems that they are gravitating to me. Who can blame them? Is that some kind of jail cell? It looks like the prisoners were beheaded.
My sister.
Scepter. Pick it up and give it back to Ra, and with that, you are finally done with the Scepter and Sundial step. Now we will move on to a fantastic step after that not-so-fun one. Now it's time for Hit Your Marks. Grab your favorite hand and make your way to the amphitheater. I say you can use any hand, but I'd recommend using Chimera or Ornos, as they're the easiest one to complete the step with. When you're here, pull out your hand and step on a colored circle and you'll get a white flash. Now you have to go to the circle.
And you will see to it.
Before I go any further, I have to know, who is this demigod we're fighting, eh? Tell me.
Perseus. My enemy is Perseus, son of Zeus, tamer of Pegasus, and ruler of the heavens if you do not stop her.
I feel as though I am being mocked. Not like it.
Bye-bye.
Does this light tell the actor where to, ¿cómo se dice, hit his mark? My gauntlet holds power you can only imagine. Just as I planned. What? No round of applause for my success? Bringing light to the darkness. That is what great. I never thought weapons is not something that interests me.
With the same color as your hand, and then now on the final step before the boss fight. To start it, come to the underworld near the spit.
What they mean by sell your lives dearly?
such fire! I am proficient with all fire. Thank heavens for small weapons. A deadly blast will strike fear into their hearts. Well, they have hearts. Simple and effective. I myself am only one of these things. Let's see them stand up to this. Foolish. No good. My aim is truly impressive. My only request is that you try to make it a little more durable this time. When people say it could have been worse, I'm not so sure. Bad things come in small packages, eh? I'm glad he was facing away from me. I let him go. I am relieved to receive such a bright weapon. Feel my blood. All of you. Come to me, rifle. We will make sweet music together. I wouldn't dare to quarrel with a supernatural boss. Where exactly are you going? I don't really know my way around Delphi.
Bye-bye.
Next time, can we have a bigger bonus? I am not entirely sure I got my money's worth on this occasion. I am not too proud to do whatever means are available to me. Consider me satisfied, Beastly Box. This occasion. Thank heavens for small mercy.
Bonus points.
This transaction has proven most unsatisfactory indeed.
Bye-bye.
Take advantage of this opportunity. Let's see them stand up to this. They need something. I suspect this will lead to much bloodshed. Where did I put it? You scratchy cabrón! I myself have never been that angry. I cannot imagine just how you got so easy. Give me your best, demon. It will still not be enough. Particularly good though. Music to my ears.
Max ammo.
Good for the last shot.
Carpenter.
Who will do the
someone who would enjoy this level of devastation. Such supernatural forces may be required if we are to free the world and release others. I bid you an explosive farewell. I fear there is much about my allies that I do not know yet. Not all of it good. I must admit, I cannot shake the worry that my companions may have been less than truthful with me. If I return to my homeland with such weapons, I could bring about a swift end to the conflict. I look forward to seeing if this is as amazing as I hope.
Hi guys, Mr. Waffles here. There are 4 main stages you need to go through in order to get the Exalted Gauntlets in. Build yourself that shield, and then bring it over here to the Eternal Flame and melee it to get fire on the end of your spear. If you need a shield guide or anything like that, by the way, link in the description down below. Once fire's on your spear tip, you're going to want to throw your spear over this gold pot on top of this column, and you need to make sure that the spear is close enough to the pot that it will ignite the gas above it, but if you just hit the base of the pot, it's not going to work. It also has to be a burning spear that actually activates this, so make sure that you don't change your weapon or something and lose that burning effect on your spear tip. When you've lit that cauldron on top of the pillar, you're going to need to do the same activity 4 times at each of the different shrines for the gauntlets. Each shrine has an elemental catalyst zombie type associated with it. Hemira, the light gauntlet, has the shock catalyst. Gaia, the green earth gauntlet, has the fire catalyst. Sharon or Charon, the death gauntlet, has the poison type catalyst. And Ouroboros, who I've been calling the wrong name for this whole video, but I've dug myself a hole now, I might as well stay in it. That blue wind gauntlet has the water catalyst type. With all 4 shrines, you're going to need to brew wind gauntlet whole video, but I've dug my catalyst. And Ouroboros, who I've been calling the wrong name for this whole video, but I've dug myself a hole now, I might as well stay in it. That blue wind gauntlet has the water catalyst type. With all 4 shrines, you're going to need to bring the relevant catalyst zombie type onto the colored circle in front of the shrine, then need the zombie Gaia, and then do the poison type. Once progress lit up symbol at the Pack-a-Punch. If you look at the top of the pack, you'll be able to see a coloured lit up symbol for each of the shrines that you've already filled with souls. And when you've filled all 4 of them with souls, you'll have 4 coloured symbols at the top, and you'll then be moving on to the next stage. So that was a pretty easy one to explain, it just takes a while to do in-game. Stage 4 requires you to complete a challenge for each god at the Pack-a-Punch machine. It's going to teleport you to the areas that you previously did challenges in order to redeem the gauntlets, but these challenges are much harder. So before you visit at the takes at the top, and you'll then be moving on to the next stage. So that was a pretty easy one to explain. You'll have 4 coloured symbols at the top, and you'll then be moving. And when you've filled all 4 of them with souls, you'll have 4 coloured symbols at the top, and you'll then be moving on to the next stage. So that was a pretty easy one to explain, it just takes a while to do in-game. Stage 4 requires you to complete a challenge for each god at the Pack-a-Punch machine.
Not the first time I've been slapped. tell that I am quite angry. It appears the odds may be.
Double points.
And I... How is it possible? What is it I see in this looking glass? To where does the stairway lead? Most living things do not survive that blast. Everyone, watch this! It's going to be spectacular! Imagine was facing away from me when I let him go. It's never a good time to run out of ammo. Atrocities await us in this city.
Insta-kill.
firewall mod. Here you'll see a door with a bunch of symbols on it, and you want to shoot the symbols in this order that I'm showing. You now. When you do, if you're Bruno or Shaw, interact with the door to watch a secret cutscene. This is a really cool cutscene that it sucks we'll never know what happened after this map since it can chaos, but a man can dream, one day it'll be brought back. If Bruno and Shaw aren't in your game though, when you shoot all 6 symbols you'll automatically pass the cutscene, and now you need to come next to the door and you'll see a blue circle on the ground. You need to place your Pegasus strike on the circle and he'll raise a ballista out of the ground. Now you need the final hand we haven't used yet, which is Ornos, to go grab it and come back to the ballista and shoot a charge shot at the ballista. If done correctly, you'll see the ballista start to move into position, and when it cocks back the arrow, you're done adjusting it. Now finally, go grab a new shield, get the Eternal Flame on it, and while keeping your shield out, run past the Danu perk and the Magic's Wallby to this teleport that I'm showing you now. This will now on the final step before the boss fight. To start it, come to the underworld near the Spitfire wall mod. Here you'll see a door with a bunch of symbols on it, and you want to shoot the symbols in this order.
I myself have never been that angry. Success is its own reward. So, the favorite son of Guadalajara must defeat the favorite son of Olympus. I like a challenge, but...
Be steadfast, my champion. You have almost completed the Sentinel trial. Soon you will cross the threshold to Olympus. Soon you will triumph where not even Colonel Perseus could.
Rejoice! I finally have a weapon worth shouting about! So small! Shouldn't I get 2? This should stop them dead in their tracks. I am proficient with all firearms. Even catapults. La Revolucion would be over in weeks if we had such firepower. Fortune found once more.
Bye-bye.
Ah, still trying to kill care. Some things never change.
news for you, Chupacarnes. I have the power of the immortals! Bien. Just have to figure out what password to trigger on this thing. I have never raised my hand to a woman. Technically, that may still be true, but...
The way to Mount Olympus is open. Hurry. Brave Pegasus awaits you there.
louder than I expected.
Carpenter.
Mystical forces.
So this is Olympus. Looks abandoned.
Mortal pawns. You have served your purpose. And you, Pegasus, you have forgotten who your master is. Rise, my steed. Rid me of this vermin.
Chinga tu madre, Perseus! You will pay for this, cabrón!
Order that I'm showing you now. When you do, if you're Bruno or showing you now, this will teleport you right next to the acid trap in the underworld. You of a woman above Pack-a-Punch. At this point, we are ready for the boss fight, so get your desired hand, or if you really don't care which one you get either the Hand of Charon or the Hand of Ornos, as they are the best for this boss fight. Get a fully packed Spitfire or Daemon if you want, get all of your perks, get a new shield, and get the Homunculus. It's important that you get the Homunculus, as the game will take away your Pegasus strike for the boss fight. But when you have all that, come behind Pack-a-Punch and interact with this egg-looking thing. To be honest, I don't really know what it is, and you will get a cutscene and you will be in the boss fight. When the boss fight begins, Pegasus will fly under the clouds. At this point, a Giganese will spawn on your island. You have to kill the Giganese for the Pegasus to reappear. On co-op, you do have to visit all 3 islands and kill a Giganese on each of them for Pegasus to reappear, but on solo, there's only one that spawns before Pegasus reappears. For future reference for this boss fight, I will refer to the islands as the following. This is Spawn Island, this is the second island, and this is the third island. When Pegasus reappears, shoot him with your Spitfire or single shots of your hand. The islands is the following. This is Spawn Island, this is the second island, and this is the third island. When Pegasus reappears, shoot him with your Spitfire or single shots of your hand. This will take a couple of tries to do, but after you deal enough damage to him, Pegasus will collapse and turn this weird orange color. At this point, you need to go to him and spam your specialist at him. If you're doing the scepter glitch, you should only need to do this once before the third island disappears. But if you're not using the scepter, or even if you're not fast enough with the glitch, it'll take at least a second try. After around 10 seconds, Pegasus will start to get back up, dealing damage to everyone that's on the same island as him. So when he does this, get off the island as soon as possible. So after Pegasus gets back up, a max ammo and a carpenter will spawn on the other 2 islands, so be sure to pick them up unless one is on the third island and it's currently being blown up. It's worth noting at this point that even though it's not common in this portion of the fight, Perseus, at the top of the mountain in the center of the boss fight arena, will throw fire in the playing area. This is actually a good thing because if you stand in the fire, your specialist will recharge insanely fast. Keep focusing fire on Pegasus, and when he collapses again, go spam your specialist at him, and keep doing this until the third island gets blown up. At this point, if you're on the third island, get off of it now, because in around 10 seconds, it will instantly kill you. Even with like talking about regeneration, or dying wish, or revives, it'll just insta-down you and you will die. When there's only 2 islands left, you need to do this to Pegasus again. Shoot him until he collapses, then go and spam your specialist at him, and after enough damage, Perseus will lower his shield and will start saying some dialogue about Pegasus being a quote worthless horse. When you hear this, this is your cue to get off the second island and go back to the island you spawned in on, as that island will shortly be engulfed in flames. Now we're on part 2 of this fight, which is Perseus himself. He has has 2 attacks, one where he shoots fire spots at you, which again you can use this to recharge your specialist insanely fast, and a second attack where he slowly draws his sword and then aims it at the island. This means that he's about to teleport to the island. So at this point, spam him with your glove, which is Spitfire, and if you don't deal enough damage in the short time he's here, he'll do an attack that does a lot of damage if it lands on you, and teleport back to the mountain in the center of the boss fight arena. So now you gotta wait until he comes back again, you can damage him again, and eventually he'll have the same orange texture as Pegasus did. Again, this is your cue to spam your specialist at him, and deal as much damage as you of a woman above Pack-a-Punch. At this point, we are ready for the boss fight. So Pack-a-Punch and interact with this egg-looking thing. To be honest, I don't really know what it is, and you will get a cutscene and you will be in the boss fight. When the boss fight begins, Pegasus will fly under the clouds. At this point, a Giganese will spawn on your island. You have to kill the Giganese for the Pegasus to reappear. On co-op, you do have to visit all 3 islands and kill a Giganese on each of them for Pegasus to reappear, but on solo, there's only one that spawns before Pegasus reappears. For future reference for this boss fight, I will refer to the islands as the following. This is Spawn Island, this is the second island, and this is the third island. When Pegasus reappears, shoot him with your Spitfire or single shots with your hand. This will take a couple of tries to do, but after you deal enough damage to him, Pegasus will collapse and turn this weird orange color.
The unworthy.
Fighting Pegasus! Remember who you are! Most living things could not survive that blast. Lo siento, but you have to go!
You will not deny me my birthright!
Viva Necali! Facing away from me when I let him go. That was louder than I expected. I think I used to like having my back scratched. I myself have never been that angry.
At this point, insane. Pegasus will lower his shield and will start saying some dialogue about Pegasus being a, quote, worthless horse. When you hear this is your cue to get off the second island and go back to the island you spawned in on, as that island will shortly be engulfed in flames. Now on part 2 of this fight, which is Perseus himself. He has 2 attacks, one where he shoots fire spots at you, which again you can use this to recharge your specialist insanely fast, and a second attack where he slowly draws his sword and then aims it at the island. This means that he's about to teleport to the island. So at this point, spam him with your glove, which is Spitfire, and if you don't deal enough damage in the short time he's here, he'll do an attack that does a lot of damage if it lands on you, and teleport back.
At least that poor horse is free now. The gods are not going to like that. When people say, "Good luck," I'm not so sure. Absolute carnage. Was it worth it, culero? Of course not. Nice place to visit, but I would not want to live here.
Thank you. But I fear it may be too late. If I die, they will return. But your father... his release.
No. Stay with me. She's dying. Go, get my father!